guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm back here at Furman Mazda, sunny Clearwater, Florida. And of course, if I'm gonna bring the first Mazda SUV to the channel, it's definitely gonna be this one. This is the 2019 Mazda CX-5. This one is a signature series with all-wheel drive. Let's talk a little history about the CX-5. CX-5 has been around since 2013. And when you do the math and you crunch the numbers, these things are selling like hotcakes. The reason why is you get really great styling from Mazda. And I'm very happy to see and say that Mazda still takes the driver into consideration when developing a vehicle. And I know that may sound like common sense, but guess what? A lot of companies don't, it seems like. Because when you drive one of these CX-5s, even though it's an SUV, even though it's a little larger of a vehicle, you still feel connected to the drive. It feels like a sporty drive. And that is what's so great about this. And with the all-wheel drive system, that's gonna make sure you are planted no matter what the climate conditions or the environmental conditions are. Let's go ahead and take a look at the front of the CX-5. So I think Mazda is doing it great with their signature styling. Love the slim, super slim and trim headlights, gives it a very sinister look. And I also think, look at this, LED fog lamps down here. Very, very nice the way that they brought the black from the center grille area all the way to the side. It's not trying to look like a vent, it's just a nice styling feature and just so small. But I'm telling you, these lights are so bright, LED lighting. Like the black across the bottom, and as we work our way into the front of the fascia here, awesome size grille, very, very wide open. And what I don't know if Tom could pick up, but this has actually got a little bit of a concave curve to it, which is really cool. Huge Mazda emblem is obviously going to have all those sensors and radars and lasers and everything for adaptive cruise control. I like the use of the chrome trim just enough, and I think it's smart how it starts from the headlight and drops down into the valley of the center of the grille area and then back up again. I like the flat black here. I think that was a smart decision to go with, and I think it also, with this being a SUV, I like the silver across the midsection. Really gives it a nice rugged look, but also a very sporty look. Look at just how low the front of the nose is. It's actually quite sloped. As you go from the nose, you have very nice body lines that go all the way to the back corner of the hood. And of course, if you're gonna feature a Mazda, Soul Red, the signature color, probably one of the best colors on the whole car market right now. As we come around to the side, I like the way they brought the plastic around the fender here. Love these wheels, 19-inch wheel. This wheel is specific to the signature. Great style. It almost looks like it's made out of brushed aluminum, and I really, really like that touch. As we transition down the side, just a little bit of gloss black, not a lot. Nice chrome trim, and I think it was smart for them to take the Soul Red, spill it onto the mirrors. They kept this flat. I think that was a smart move. And just look how slim and trim those turn signals are on this vehicle, on both mirrors. Just unbelievable how they, from the front to the middle of the back, very, very nicely done. As we go into the greenhouse, I like the way that the roof isn't too high. This one has these beautiful aluminum roof rails. Obviously, then you could attach the crossbars to it, and you could put just about anything on the top of this. Gloss black right here on the doors, and then color matching door handles. As we drop down, I think it was another smart move to go flat black. This is gonna take a beating and it's gonna look great. As we work our way down to the back of the area, quarter window. I really think it was smart to have a diagonal line here and then into the rear quarter window, which has a nice fat wide section. Very well done. And then as we wrap it around the back, very slim, color matched roof spoiler. I think nobody is doing it better than Mazda when it comes to taillights. These taillights look like they belong on a Ferrari or something. That's how good they look. And they're obviously super functional. And to wrap off the back, a tasteful rear end to an SUV. I like the additional aluminum piece that they put across the back here. This is gonna help from getting that Soul Red all scratched up. A little bit of that silver down there. And then a nice flushed in dual exhaust. Just gives it a nice complete and done look. Since we got to the end, let's go ahead, start back to the beginning and pop the hood and check out what's powering this CX-5. All right guys, here we are with the hood popped on the 2019 CX-5. Remember, this is that signature series, so you're gonna see a nice surprise. That is a 2.5 liter inline 4 with a turbocharger. So I'm gonna have Tom showcase that engine compartment and show you that turbocharger in the back portion near the firewall. So at the end of the day, you're looking at 250 horsepower. It's mated to a 6-speed automatic transmission, 0 to 60 in about 6.4 seconds. The wonderful thing is you're still gonna get decent MPGs, 22 in the city, 27 on the highway, and the throttle response is gonna be much greater than in the naturally aspirated CX-5. Plus, when you combine all of this to the all-wheel drive, you actually have a wonderful package system that's gonna give you some performance, and it's also gonna keep you safe. Let's go ahead and fire up this 2019 CX-5. All right guys, time to check out inside the 2019 Mazda CX-5. You're gonna see why these Mazda CX-5 sell so well. Now, if you're wondering and you're saying, well, Joe, how much is this one? Before you go any further, before you show me how nice it is, how much is this one? This one MSRP's for about $40,000, but this is higher up the trim level. There's many different ways you could go with the CX-5 that you won't even be near that $40,000 price point. But let's see what you get with this signature series. Check out the door panels. I love the use of the lighter, softer material at the top. I like a little bit of that wood grain finish and the silver trim. Very classy, very nice. You have faux leather on the armrests, a little bit of gloss black by your window controls, but you know what? Overall, upscale feel on these door panels. As you transition to the dash, very soft material. Wonderful, nicely done. I like the contrast stitching that's on the door. Comes to the dash, 7-inch infotainment screen, which you can control with that direct drive knob. I even like the touches with the different shape AC vents. Just little things like that for me add up to the big picture. They take the hazard button and put it nicely in between. As we drop down, you have your start-stop button clearly available and seen. Heated steering wheel, dual climate. I love the digital layout. Ventilated seats, heated seats, a nice cubby area here with your 12 volts and whatnot. My problem is, where is the lid? I wish there was a lid there. That it just doesn't look finished to me. So I would like to see the lid there. Plus, I'm gonna zonk it because guess what? There is no USB in there. There's a 12 volt, but I would like a USB up here, especially if that's where you're gonna be placing your phone. Gloss black around the shifter. I know some of you hate this, especially when it comes to fingerprints. There was somebody who brought up a good point. If you don't want fingerprints on it, don't touch it. Makes sense to me. Leather trim on the shift knob, a little bit of aluminum look to it. You have your sport button, which is going to actually change the way that this thing behaves and accelerates, and actually will surprise you. I promise you that. We'll get to that in the drive. Electric e-brake, and then here's that direct drive controller where you twist the knob, and up on that 7-inch display you can see how you could go through your different functions. You want navigation? You could go into your navigation. You want to go back to home and go into settings? You could then go into your settings, and it's real easy to use. The font is pretty clear. This is something that needs to be upgraded. I think at this price point, $40,000, this should be a 9-inch or a 10-inch screen. So I would like to see a change in that. As we continue down, I do like the leather on the sides, and I like the way it's a nice brown color to it, especially when it comes to the seats. But before we get to the seats, you have 2 cup holders, nice softly padded armrest. Open this. This is where you got all your connectivity. So you have your 2 USBs, a 12 volt, you got a little coin tray here, and it's a pretty deep storage area considering this isn't a 3-row 8-passenger SUV. I love this Nappa leather. Nappa leather, soft as a baby's tush. Very nice. It's going to keep your tush very comfortable. They're supportive, but they're also comfortable at the same time. Love the stitching, and I love the different design in the seat. Very nicely done. Black headliner, but you do have a standard sunroof above you and your passenger up front. Of course, when it comes to electric assisted seats, you get full wave power on both sides, which is a no-brainer at this price point. But why don't you come over to the business end and see what this CX-5 is all about. All right, guys, the business end of the 2019 CX-5. Right away, it's just little touches like this. I like the silver on the seat controls, and I also think it's very, very smart that they put the memory settings right here built into the seat instead of on the door panel like so many other cars. This one has the optional aluminum sills that light up CX-5 at night every time you get in and out of the car. Seating position feels really great. Tilt and telescoping steering wheel, that's always a nice feel. I just wish the steering wheel was a tad thicker, but I do like the gray stitching around the inside. This being the sole red, I think part of the color combination would look great to have red contrast stitching across the dash and on the steering wheel. But other than that, very classy looking steering wheel. If I am gonna zonk it, it's this guy right here. They decided to just keep a flat black plastic panel there. I wish that was just cut out. Maybe I could go get a Dremel and Tom and I can knock a couple of those out for Furman Mazda. But anyways, in the center you see a speedometer. I know it looks analog. That's actually a digital speedometer. You can go through different settings within that speedometer, which is actually pretty cool. Another thing, I like the way they have the analog tach. They have some analog gauges like your coolant temperature gauge and fuel gauge, and then there's some other digital readouts there, which is a very nice touch as well. Overall, lots of headroom, even though it has a sunroof, and it's got a beautiful self-dimming frameless mirror on the interior. And just, I don't know, when I'm sitting in a Mazda, it really feels like a higher quality than a lot of other vehicles out there at a really great price point. Let's go ahead. We talked about the front. Let's go check out the back seats in the CX-5. All right, guys, back seat time of the 2019 CX-5. And you know what? Even for somebody my size, 6 feet tall, 200 pounds, very comfortable back here. I like this Napa leather is wonderful. Also, what I like is how on the back of the seats, they wrap it all the way. They're not going cheap and putting plastic back here. They even do the little cutout just to give you a little extra room. You got a nice sized pocket here. 2 AC vents. Now, before you go and say, I'm going to zonk this because there's no USB, wait, oh, just wait, you'll see. But overall, very comfortable. I wish there was a rear sunroof. It's kind of dark back here, but really what's going to lighten up your day is this armrest. This is an armrest and a half. So you have 2 cup holders, heated seats, and open up this little bad boy right there. You got 2 USB jacks right there, nice felted lining so you can put whatever you want in there and then close it up. But that's a pretty smart armrest. Now it's a little on the harder side, but still soft. I mean, this thing is softer than an armrest in a Honda, any Honda product, I don't care what it is. But goes right back. Let's go ahead. We need to check out that cargo area because I know you have stuff to put in the CX-5. Let's go do it. All right, guys, time to check out what can you put in the back of this Signature Series. And the way that you know it's Signature, right there, that SG Signature Series, all-wheel drive. You just push the button, open sesame, and once it's fully open, there is a ton of room back here. So that's a really, really nice thing to see, is that when you open up the back hatch area, you're going to be able to get just about anything that's very, very wide into the back area of your CX-5. To fold down the seats, very simple. You just lift up on that and it goes down, and you can see it does the 60-40 split, and those seats will fold all the way flat. We just have the front seats all the way back. I think my only zonk back here is I would like this to be one of those adjustable ones. Maybe just make it go up a little bit higher. And then another thing is, you got a 12 volt. It would be nice to have an extra power source like the Home 110 to plug back here in case you're gonna have any kind of tailgate party right before the big game. But if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go ahead and take this turbocharged CX-5 for a spin. Let's go do it. We left Furman Mazda. We're in the 2019 CX-5, that Signature Series all-wheel drive with the turbo. Let's test out the loud pedal. You know what? For an SUV, it handles really, really well. more so than the Honda CR-V that we were in. And remember, that's at the same price point, same class as the CX-5, and that's what you're going to get, is you're going to get a more in-tune driving experience, even though this is a SUV. But I love the heads-up display. It's very, very clear and easy to see. It's at the perfect height in the windshield. The gauge layout is great. Steering wheel, I would like it to be a little bit thicker, but you know what? That's not that big of an issue because it's a good looking steering wheel. I have to admit that. And I know you're probably saying, well, who cares about how good a steering wheel looks? Listen, this is what you're looking at while you're driving. Well, maybe not staring at it, but this is what you're holding on to. And it's nice to have a good looking steering wheel. I'm just gonna say that. Brakes feel great, good pedal modulation. Now, when we went through those S's, I could feel the weight transferring very nicely to each corner of the car as we went through that little S section. The automatic in this thing is very spot on. I could hear the turbo doing its work underneath the hood, that 2.5 liter, 250 horsepower. I have it in sport mode, so if you listen, it's holding that gear. I like that. It keeps me in the power band so I can get back on it and go. Great brake feel though. And the front end feel for an SUV, it feels really, really, really good. All right, guys, one thing we just noticed before you freak out, we didn't just do 140 miles an hour, that was kilometers an hour. You easily just press the button here and it switches. Real simple. But as I was going through that section, it felt really, really good considering the type of vehicle that it is. You definitely can feel the all-wheel drive doing its business, that's for sure. Great visibility. They really pull back these A-pillars very nicely and out of the way. Quiet cabin. Very, very quiet cabin. This thing has the full plethora of safety features. So you got that blind spot monitoring, lane keep assist. I even like how on the heads-up display, it shows you. Besides you looking in the mirror and seeing that somebody's in your blind spot, it shows you on the heads-up display. So that's another great feature to have in this SUV. Overall, if I'm gonna zonk it, I'd like to see a bigger screen, something that's a little bit more 21st century when it comes to features of it. Besides that, I like it. I'm able to put my arm up nice and high. It's nicely padded. I like the faux wood. I like the chocolate brown leather pieces that are on the door panels and on the center console. The seats feel really good. You have power lumbar support and everything else, and the leather is very, very soft. It really feels upscale. Just the appointments everywhere. Very nicely done by Mazda. And you can't beat that Soul Red. That Soul Red is the best, one of the best colors in the business, to be honest with you. Just like I love World Rally Blue. That's another one from Subaru. It's just a great color, period, whether you're a Subaru fan or not. But the controls are nicely placed, and I'm telling you, that automatic transmission feels great. Feels really, really good. I'm just rolling on the throttle, and it just, the turbo has great boost to it. It comes in around, I would say around 2,500, 3,000 RPM. So it's nice, smooth, and progressive. Brakes feel great. Right hand turn here, good feedback. Nicely done. Another thing I like is I like that it doesn't have paddles. Listen, you don't need to shift with the paddles in this thing. If you want to, you could put it in manual mode this way, and then you could go up and down the gears. It does have a gear indicator there underneath where it says sport on the instrumentation. And it's not a DCT, but it's fairly quick. But I'll go ahead and leave it there for a second as we go down this road. I love the frameless mirrors. I think all cars need to have those by now. And nice armrest. Everything's feeling good. It's just that if I had a phone right now, I would not be able to charge it in this center area unless I had one of those 12-volt adapter type things, which those are just annoying. But let me go ahead and get on it. On the brakes, downshift. Nice. The downshifts are actually quicker than the upshifts, and you can see the speed I was able to carry through that turn on the gas. You want to merge, this thing has no problem merging. I promise you that. And then when you're done, you just put it right back over and you're in full automatic mode. If you don't want sport on, you just shut it off. 1, 2, 3. Very, very nice driving car. Quiet. I like the sunroof. I wish it had maybe a panoramic sunroof, especially for the passengers in the back. But you know what? For the price point, you're getting a lot of different features and you're getting a distinctive look on an SUV that you can't find many other places unless you're spending big money on your SUV. But we're gonna go ahead and wrap this one up and get back to Furman Mazda, and I'll be back in a split second. All right, guys, been another great day here at Furman Mazda. It was great to take out this turbocharged CX-5. It's nice to see Mazda giving you plenty of options. It's like, how do you want to have your CX-5? You get to decide, and that's the wonderful thing. But I got to give a huge shout out to Matt, Rob, and Bob for allowing Raiti's Rides full access to all the cars here on the lot. If these are the things you like to see on Raiti's Rides, leave a comment in that comment section. If you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it'll be worthwhile coming back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you. Thank you for being part of the Raiti's Rides family. Check out all my different forms of social media. You know what they are. It's all Raiti's Rides original content all the time. Make sure you get yourself some merch. Click that link in the description. Takes you right to Spreadshirt. Show Tom some love. He's working hard out here. He started a new photography Instagram page. It's called Mosh Photos. I'll put that in the video. Go check him out and definitely follow him. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.